If you buy bottled water in New Zealand, the overwhelming balance of probability is the company selling it to you has paid for the bottle, yes, the transport to get it into shops and restaurants, yes, perhaps even some marketing, yes, but not for the water itself. This makes bottled water extremely profitable, particularly in large volumes. And as the growing aversion to sugars and artificial sweeteners begins to impact on the sale of soft drinks, water is an increasingly important component in the balance sheets of companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi and Nestle. Last year, for example, the Wall Street Journal identified water as a saving grace in the Coca-Cola balance sheet, but this has long been recognised. As far back as the year 2000, Robert S. Morrison, the vice chairman of PepsiCo, said, and I quote, "The biggest enemy is tap water." But yesterday, our colleagues on TVNZ's Q&A featured interviews with two politicians calling for the companies who sell water to be charged for it. So what do the companies themselves think of that? Well, we didn't think they'd talk to us, but in fact, Neil Waka is the Corporate Affairs Manager for Coca-Cola Amatil and joins us on the phone now. Neil, welcome to Checkpoint. It's nice to talk to you.
John Campbell, it's been a while.
It's been a long time. But the question is, Coca-Cola isn't paying for that water it's getting out of Putaruru, right?
No, we are paying for the water. There's a process that we have to go through with the South Waikato District Council, and we negotiate the terms of that.
Neil, hold on a sec. Never bullshitter. How much are you paying?
Well, you'll have to ask them. They're the ones we negotiate with.
I have. And you're paying 1/10 of a cent a litre.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there, but it's still a cost. But do you know how much?
Come on. It's such a nominal in cost, you should be slightly embarrassed about mentioning it, shouldn't you? Let's look. You're selling Countdown, which is cheap, relatively cheap, cheaper than the dairy, is selling a 750ml bottle of pump for $2.50. If you're paying 1/10 of a cent a litre for that water, that is a markup on the raw ingredient of somewhere in excess of 250,000%.
Yeah, if there are no other costs added in.
Right.
But there are always other costs. You know, there are transportation costs. There's the bottling costs. There's the cost of, we have some employees that work for us in Putaruru, where the water comes from. So all those things are kind of important as well.
Okay, so what does it cost you to get a bottle of pump into Countdown? If they're selling it for $2.50, some of that's GST, some of that's their markup. What's it costing you to put it in there?
Well, do you know how much water is available to various bottling plants around the country?
Sorry, I don't understand that. You're answering a question with a question. What are you asking me?
Well, what I'm trying to talk about here is how much water is available for us, and who are the people that put the costs on the water that is made available.
Okay, the question is, Coca-Cola is an extremely profitable company. It's an extremely big company. Why?
And a very cool company.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So why should you get this crucial, key, profitable resource for 1/10 of a cent a litre?
Well, it's part of business, isn't it? We negotiate with the South Waikato District Council. They determine what they think they can sell it for, and that's where we go to from there. We don't just decide, we're not going to pay very much at all. We decide that we want to go in negotiations, and we talk about it and the best way to go about it, and we provide employment for the town, and we also provide some of this water that we use. It's subsidising people in the Putaruru township. At least a third of those people get their water subsidised, so they're paying very little for it. So it's a business transaction. It's not just black and white. It's this cost, and how come you can pay this much?
So would you be prepared to pay more for it, say $0.01 a litre? Would Coca-Cola Amatil still be in the water bottling business if you were charged $0.01 a litre for it?
Oh, I'd love to be able to answer that question. There are people a lot higher up than I who make those kinds of decisions. Everything's a negotiation at the end of the day, isn't it? So if they came to us and they put a proposal to us that they wanted to increase it by such and such, then that's the negotiation.
Okay. Would you mind, if we would say call you back in the next couple of days, would you mind asking the people who make those kind of financial decisions whether they'd be prepared to pay a cent a litre? Because I think that's material, because in a way that's all that the proponents of some charge are suggesting you have to pay. It's still not very much on something that is being sold for $2.50 for 750 mils.
Yeah, but who are you talking to about here? Are you talking about the people we negotiate with? Are you talking about the people who are the customers, who are obviously very important? You know, water is up. People in New Zealand are buying more and more water. There's huge growth in that market. So are you talking about the people in Putaruru who you feel maybe should be charging at a higher rate? Because the reality is this is a business transaction, and if we can get it for such and such, and we do a good deal with that, and we're employing people in the town.
How many people do you employ there?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's hardly a slam dunk in terms of philanthropy, is it? I mean, 18 people that's a small to medium business, isn't it?
Yeah, but how many people in the town? I mean, it's a small town, so
Neil, doesn't that point to what a beautiful business water is? You take it out of the ground, you put it in the bottle, you pay 1/10 of a cent a litre for it. Ka-ching! You only have to employ 18 people to do so. Money for jam.
Well, at the end of the day, again, it is still a business. And if they came to us and said, we want to increase the costs of you drawing our water, then of course that's something we have to consider. But until that happens, as our business, we've got to do the best we can by our customers and be able to get them the price of water that makes them enjoy pump and Kiwi Blue a little bit more.